Hey everyone, it's Collin Seaton, Pro Wholesaler Coach with RealEstateSkills.com. Today I'm here with Mustafa, who is the owner of Umbrella United LLC based out of the Miami market. He's been a member of the Pro Wholesaler VIP program for just 1 month and recently shared he completed his first wholesale deal. I'm excited to have Mustafa on today to share his story and how he's been able to successfully begin his career in real estate investing. So, first off, Mustafa, how are you doing today, man?
Doing good, Colin. How are you?
I'm good, good. Thank you for asking. Awesome, man. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you were doing prior to real estate, what made you interested in real estate?
My name is Mustafa Sahin. I've been living in Miami the almost 2 years so far, and I am from the Turkey nationally. I was living in Istanbul before I moved to the United States, and then I've been living in United States for 7 years. And since I moved down here, I've been doing retail business. I have the gemstone retail business. I have the four retail location currently. The two of them in Houston, Texas, one of them in Philadelphia, and then one of them in the Delaware. And it's a shopping mall business. And we are not doing the really good nowadays because of the economy. And then I just decided to find another way to make money. That's why I joined the group, and I've been doing my own research for the real estate. I bought the one the investment property middle of the last year, and then I have been doing Airbnb with that property. And yeah, but I figured that out. The wholesale is the one of the way in the real estate space to make money, the quickest way to make money, basically. And then after I seen that, I just wanna, I watched the one video of the Alex Martinez on the YouTube one night, just spontaneously, and I it was the 12th the step for the wholesaling, I think the name of the video, if I'm not mistaken. And after I watched that, I watched the couple more video of him about the wholesaling, and I just decided to schedule a phone call with you guys. And yeah, after 2 days or 3 days, I talked to the Brandon from the real estate skill team, and I just decided to join. Yeah, and I started the online education by 27th of the October, I think. Yeah, I have the contract with myself, the paperwork on my wall behind my computer, and then there's a date on it, the October 27th, basically. That's the date I started, and I knew I had to spend enough time on the education before I start, right? And then after I started the education, I seen the Alex, the break down everything very well, the step by step, and then the couple section of the education that was all about the mindset, nothing about the information that of the wholesaling, right? I like that part because that you can have the information, but if you don't have the mindset, that you don't apply the information in the field. That even if you start with the you can have a pump for a couple days, and then you can say that I'm gonna do that, the whatever it takes, whatever. But after a couple days, if you don't have the right mindset, if you didn't set up the right mindset, you give up basically after a couple days or 3 days or the 1 week, whatever. And I really like that part, as I said. And then you know and I finished all the education. That even I watched the two times, three times the couple section to understand better. Because I'm from Turkey, and then it's not been a long time since I moved down here, and then my English, sometimes that I cannot understand everything very well in a first time. That's what I went over second time, even third time, to understand it in a very deep way. And after I finished the education, so I got my real estate agent license 3 months ago, by the way. Yeah, and I have access to the MLS. And after I finished the online education, I just jumped into the MLS to do research, the new research, the brand new research, the older than 3 months, the listing, whatever, you know, to understand the metrics of the listing. And I just started to call the agents. I didn't do anything specific other than what the Alex that they said in the education. I just did follow the blueprint. And and after a month, I was able to close my first deal. I closed that deal end of the November. Yeah, it was the weird story. I mean, I got the listing under contract, and then it passed the EMD, the time frame, and then I had to cancel it. After a couple of days, the one of the cash buyer, one of the agent who has a cash buyer, just got back to me, and then she asked if the deal is still available. I have a buyer, and I said, I didn't say I canceled it. I didn't say I lost it. I just I said to the agent it's still available, and then I just they called the owner of the house, and then said I have a the price was the way different than the before. I mean, the purchase price was I don't remember the numbers exactly, because I'm looking like the tens, 10 different deal
Right.
every day. But the price was the listing, the asking price was $430,000, right? And then I I called the owner, and then I did lowball the price. I offered $330,000 or something, because I seen the current owner bought the deal like literally 5 6 months ago for $300,000, right? That you see the property history on the MLS, right? He literally bought it like 5 6 months ago for $300,000, and then he listed for $430,000. And I just called the owner. I'm going a little back right now. I'm just
Yeah.
and I called the owner. And I offered $335,000 or something. I didn't remember the number, but that he said that he has already the way the higher offers right now. It doesn't make sense to accept my offer, whatever. And then I asked him what kind of offer he has, right? And then he said that his highest offer is the $370,000 right now. And I said okay, and I offered the $378,000 after he said I have the I have a highest offer for $370,000. I offered $8,000 more than his highest offer, and then he pushed me to go up to the $385,000, right? And I said okay, just to get the deal under contract. I just wanna get the deal under contract, and the lock it. And after run the numbers, maybe I can negotiate the price later on. And after I get the deal under contract for $385,000, after one day I called him, and then I said I run the numbers with the team members, and then the based on the renovation cost, based on the other soft cost, carrying cost. So we gotta recommend the amend the price. That's how we say, right? We don't ask for the price reduction. So that's the and then I asked for the price reduction, basically, for, I don't remember the number, but it was about like the 340,000 or $45,000 or something. It was close to my first offer, right?
Right.
And he said the same thing again. That he said, I have the way higher offer. I'm not gonna go with yours. And I just decided to wait a couple days until end of my EMD, the period time, right? The EMD, end of the EMD, the due time period. And he just he just didn't get back to me for my lowered price, lowered offer. And and I said, it is what it is. Just, probably I gotta let it go. And we canceled the contract basically. And as I said, the one of the agent I contacted for this deal, who has the cash buyer, she just got back to me after we canceled the contract. And then she asked, hey Mustafa, do you still have the deal? I said, yes, I still have it. And she said, I have a buyer basically. And I said, okay, I'm gonna send you the all information one more time. I just the hang up on her and called the seller. And I just, yeah, the my off my the my offer was $385,000 for that executed contract, right?
Right.
And I called him, and then I told him, I'm coming with the better terms. I'm gonna increase the EMD for you. I'm gonna reduce the inspection period time, since I have the already buyer, right? I don't need to wait another 7 days for the inspection period, for the due diligence time. And I just, prepare him, to give him some, the good energy basically. And then I ask him the $5,000 discount over $385,000, right? And so he said, okay, so I'm gonna do that for $380,000. And my selling price was $400,000, my asking price. Anyway, so we locked the deal again for the 380, and then I already had the buyer for $400,000. I also tried to push the price up for another $5,000, but the buyer, it was not okay for that. They wanted the deal for $400,000. Anyway, we locked the deal for 380, and then we sold the deal for $400,000.
That's awesome, man. That's an amazing first deal to work. So, roughly since the beginning, since you've started making offers, how many offers did it take to get to where you are now, to where you wholesaled that first deal?
I mean, I cannot give you the exact number, but it was my the eight. I think it was my the eighth or tenth offer I made
Okay.
since I started.
Awesome, man. So sounds like you've definitely been putting in the work, going through finding
Mhm.
properties that would be a good wholesale deal and getting that deal worked. So huge kudos to you, man, for
Mhm.
making all that stuff work out.
Thank
It
you.
definitely sounds like there were some complications inside of that deal, but you managed to overpower all that and come out the other side. And something else that's huge that you've done, man, you've gone off and gotten your real estate license.
Mhm.
That's going to be an amazing asset to you, and I think you're going to be very grateful that you did that in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally because of you guys. I'm not, the without this education, without the help of you guys, I cannot, get over to this the success. I believe I spend enough time on the online education before I start. It helped a lot. Instead, the just the sometimes as a retail business owner, I don't spend the too much time at the beginning. I'm just a believer of the you learn on the way. But for this wholesaling business, you need some the main, you just need the foundation, the before start. And then the as I said, I believe I spend enough time, at least like the 2 weeks straight. I did not open my MLS. I only the watch all the training videos, that as I said. And Basically, I just did the whatever the Alex Martinez said on the education. I didn't do anything the anything like special, anything other than what he said. And yeah, you guys have a we have the great community, and we get like instant answer from the school on the Pro Wholesaler VIP group. Whenever we ask question, whenever we need help, the you and then the Ryan, also the other the students, other the group member, also the answering our questions. It's a great community, man. The great to be part of that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that a lot, Mustafa. So, what would you say about the community and the program itself has helped you the most throughout your adventure into real estate investing?
I mean, as I said, by itself, online, the real estate skills, the Pro Wholesaler VIP online education, the only by itself, it's the great blueprint, right? And then also the Pro Wholesaler VIP group on the schools.com. It's also the really helpful. That whenever you have a question, you can find the answer of those questions on the YouTube or the wherever. But the instead doing that, the interacting with the people, the one by one on the school.com, it's very helpful also. Even if you might have a problem with comping the properties, that you just send the address. You have the you wanna get the deal under contract, you just share the address on the group, and like the two people, three people just giving you advice, the literally giving you like the right exact number for your ARVs, right? That's great, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how's everything been going since you've closed on this first deal? Do you have any other deals that you've locked up and you're getting ready to wholesale, or uh, anything else completed?
Yeah, the nothing. I mean, I had the after then I had maybe like five, maybe six the deal under contract. I had the six, seven executed contracts since then, but I haven't closed another deal yet. I had a couple on market deal, and I have the one off market deal right now, the executed basically, and I'm still negotiating with the seller. I just want to try. I just wanted to try the off market deals to see, you know, that there is less competition, obviously, and then when you share the off market deal with the buyers, they don't see the asking price or whatever. That I just wanted to try that part of the wholesaling instead the on market. I'm still working on the on market deals, that the checking, like I'm checking the market three times a day, in the morning, in the noon, and in the evening, to see the fresh deals. And but yeah, the off market deals, I haven't closed any deal yet, as I said, since the first deal closed. But I'm close, I think. It's a the trying game, basically. It's a number game, basically. As long as you make an offer, you get more deal under contract. As long as you have more deal under contract, you closer to the assignment fee, basically.
So, what's life been like since you joined the program and you've had this major win?
I mean, this is not the side hustle, definitely. The Collins. So if anyone watching this, and then the trying to spend like couple hours in a day, like maybe like 5-10 hours in a week, it's not gonna work. I think, in my opinion, definitely. Since the end of the October, the in November, I spent at least 10 hours on the computer and then on the phone, just looking for the deals, calling the agents, trying to find a way to get it under contract, checking the comps, whatever. It takes time. And I spent I think, let's say, I work 7 days a week, and I work at least 8 to 10 hours a day. The meaning is that, let's say, I work 8 hours a day, literally, on the phone and then on the computer for 7 days. The basically 55 hours. Let's say 60 hours. So that's means 60 hours a week. You need to be the full time in this business, right? It's not a part time business, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially for the beginning, and you gotta learn everything, and then the in order to learn everything you gotta spend enough time. Maybe like after 6 months I'm not gonna spend this much time for a week. Maybe I will be able to find the more quality deal, the in-state, the spending this much time. But at the beginning, that I feel we gotta spend enough time in order to learn every specific thing of the wholesaling.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Mustafa. So, how does this compare to what you were doing prior to real estate?
But what do you mean by that exactly?
So, if you were to compare real estate investing to what you were doing for work prior to real estate, what would you say? Do you enjoy this more? Do you have more free time now that you're doing this?
I mean, right now I don't have that much free time because I'm in the learning the section of this business. That's what I don't mind the working like 10 hours, 12 hours a day, because I have enough time. I mean, I have a retail business. I have some sort of income coming in, and I'm not working in that business, right? I'm managing them. I have a team, and then I'm managing those people from home, and then I have enough time to spend the to spend the to learn the wholesaling. And but right now I don't have too much time to I have I the while doing this, while learning the wholesaling, I don't have that much free time basically. But I don't mind, as I said, the in the to be in order to be successful within a, like in order to close enough deal and and be pro of the wholesaling. I don't mind working 10 hours every day for 6 months, for 1 year, whatever it takes, right? I'm okay with that. But because I know after 6 months, after 1 year, after 2 year, I don't know what is the timeline, but I know I'm not gonna work this much after I feel the confident about about the very basic of the wholesaling, because I will have enough. I will have the way more network with the real estate agents, the way more than now. That I know I'm gonna get like a lot of the pocket deal, the off market deals from them, and instead spending 10 hours on the MLS to finding the fresh deals.
Yeah, exactly. And what you were just saying is a super key thing whenever it comes to wholesaling real estate. What you're doing with building these relationships with all these realtors and different cash buyers and whatnot. So, specifically, the relationships with the realtors, that's going to bring a tremendous amount of value to you. And that's also going to be an amazing way for you to get off market deals literally brought to you. The realtors are going to know that you're able to close deals, you know how to work deals, and you're going to get that brought right into your lap. And so, have you had any experience with that yet? I know, we're just a month in, but at the same time, have you had any experience with realtors bringing you any pocket listings yet?
Yes, actually, and that, by the way, I also wanna say this. I'm really enjoying using Strake, the CRM we use. But only that it's a the I mean, it's it's very valuable. The for the following up with the agents, following up for the deals. Otherwise, you cannot do it the regular way. You cannot take a only note, and then you cannot follow up with the 1 month, the 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 previous 1 month, the before the deal. You talk to the agent, right? It's very valuable. And coming to your question, I the sent the merge email the last night, right? Just to tell the agent in my network so far, It was the 90. There was a 98 receiver, 98. The agent in the list that I talked so far basically since I started, and I just sent the basic email. Hey guys, this is Mustafa, and I'm still looking for on or off market deal in my for my fix and flip project in South Florida. If you guys have anything, just send it to me, right? And then at least like 10, 12 of them that got back to me, and the I started getting the deals from them.
That's awesome, Mustafa. And so exactly what like I was saying, that's the number one way for getting off market deals. I'm super proud of you, man. It's legitimately barely been 1 month since you've been here. And it definitely sounds like you've learned so much from the training from Alex, and then utilizing school, asking us coaches questions and proceeding forward. So you've done all the right steps, Mustafa. You've done it all perfectly, man. And
Thank
so
you.
huge kudos to you for that.
Thank you, Collins. Again, it's because of you guys.
Absolutely. So, do you have any advice for somebody that might be thinking about joining the Pro Wholesaler VIP program?
So it's totally worth it. And so you need a accountability the partner sometimes, right? So this community the has that role basically. You can find all these information maybe on the YouTube or for free, whatever. But you don't if you are not in the community who is like-minded like you, and then who is willing to go on the same path like you, so you lost in within a couple of weeks or within a couple of days, right? So that's why it's so important, it's so worth it. And my recommendation, my advice, who is willing to start with wholesaling and then making the money, they gotta spend enough time for sure. At least for a couple months, at least that they gotta spend more than the 6 hours, 7 hours straight from the very early morning until the evening. I think. I mean, as again, I don't mind to work 9 to 5, for at the beginning, and in order to earn my freedom after a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, now that you've had this huge win and you've got all this success going within real estate, what's next for you? Do you want to keep on expanding on wholesaling, or do you plan on getting into fix and flips and buy and holds? I know you already have that one Airbnb property. Are you wanting to do more of that kind of stuff?
I want to make at least $50,000 by until end of the year, until end of the December, right? So we are getting closer. My short term goal is making $50,000 assignment fee until end of the December, until end of this year, right? But after then, this is the fastest way to make money in the real estate, the wholesaling. It's not, I'm not saying easiest, but it's a fastest way, the compared to the buy and hold or the fix and flip, the part of the wholesaling, right? You gotta wait the decent amount of time on with those the strategies in order to make money. But the wholesaling, just to get the deal under contract, find a buyer, assign the contract, make your money. It takes like couple weeks, the 10 days, a week or 2 weeks, whatever. And my goal is, the first, to make enough money in order to spend, in order to invest in the real estate again. The For sure in the future, I wanna have more real estate, the properties as an investment. But again, the I wanna make enough money in order to invest in the real estate again. Another thing, wholesaling is great because you're learning the local market. You're learning where to invest. You're learning how much you should spend. You're learning how to negotiate with the sellers, right? That it's great, the who is just starting the real estate their real estate journey. In the near future, they will have enough information, enough skills with the working on the wholesaling, in the near future, they can find the best investment for themselves.
Absolutely. So it definitely sounds like you're expanding on your wholesaling business to start, and then you're going to get into everything else, fix and flips and buy and holds and whatnot. And so, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mustafa, you were talking about the community, and something you're doing right now is actively getting more deals under contract, and you're sharing it inside of the community, doing co-wholesales or JVs with other students, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't see any problem with sharing it because the for example, I just shared the one of my the deal on the group. The it was there was a the 400 4,000 no $40,000 assignment fee, I think. I mean, the as a beginner, that you don't have the enough amount of the cash buyer sometimes, that just sharing those deals, and then the sharing the $40,000 assignment fee is better than no assignment fee, right? So yeah, I'm getting a lot of the text messages, the messages from the school.com, also from the student of the group. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna close a deal with the one of them, hopefully.
Well, hey, I'm not going to hold up too much more of your time. I do want to take this moment to thank you for your time. We appreciate it greatly. Your story is extremely inspiring, not just to me, but to a lot of other people as well. And so we really appreciate you being able to jump on and share just exactly how you're crushing real estate investing and what you're doing inside of your business. I look forward to supporting you more in the community, man, and can't wait to get more deals going.
Thank you so much, Collins. Thanks for having me, and thanks you guys. What are you guys doing? For this community, and it's definitely worth it, guys. Who's just thinking that to start the real estate journey. This is the right time to start. These people are the people to start with, basically. Thanks again, Collins. Thanks for having me. It was a honor with being with you.
Absolutely. I appreciate that a lot, Mustafa. Well, guys, you heard it here. That is Mr. Mustafa sharing exactly how he's been getting out and absolutely crushing the Miami market with wholesale deals. So great job again, Mustafa. And past that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Get to see more of our student interviews like Mustafa, hear these success stories, and just see how everybody is succeeding in real estate. Also, if you want to learn more about real estate skills, please do not hesitate to go to realestateskills.com to learn more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.